Alright, hey there guys and welcome back. I'm going to be testing this thing out, so I don't know how well this is going to work yet the first time, but I've been messing with it, so let's get into this. I want to go over like my top 11 arena golds. I was going to say 10, but I couldn't decide between two, so that's why there's 11. We're going to get the obvious one out of the way. Shoop's Day Off. Shoop's Day Off is going to be amazing. Obviously, I mean, if you drafted like after 15 cards is going to be my condition for it, because I don't want to get stuck in that position where I'm forced to double draft and then have a dead gold in my deck, or like where I can't double draft a Caretaker or something. So that's going to be my condition for it, but if you want to pick it up earlier, it's always worth the risk, because this guy usually gets you at least like 22, 24 value, which is pretty high up there for arena. Even Shoot Mage, if you do the draw card for card advantage, in round 1 and 2 that can be really good. Round 3, not so much. Vilkforks could be better because he'll do the same thing basically with more power. Since Final Say isn't going to be as important, I mean card advantage sort of will, but you got to count as like +4 on whatever you draw into. So Shoop's Bizarre Adventure, or Day Off, not Bizarre Adventure anymore, is definitely the first one. Then we got Carher Differin. This guy will be awesome because he resurrects your leader. That's guaranteed value right there. And your leader is a really good ability, so I mean, well, in most cases will be a really good ability, one of the best abilities you have in the game. So resurrecting the leader, yeah, that seems pretty good to me. Even if it's only +1 on the leader, it doesn't matter. You get to use a leader twice. Then they're seeming like they're going to be the strongest thing in the draft mode. So we got, yeah, Carr, definitely good. And then we got Avalok the Sage. He's like Carr's tier 1, and then I put Avalok the Sage under them just because he copies a random gold or silver unit from your opponent's starting deck. Now in the earlier drafts, like the earlier games, this might not be so good because you're going to have things like your opponent didn't draft the best things probably in the earlier games, since it's just the start of it, so you're facing random decks. But as you go further on, your chances of stealing or copying a really good gold or really good silver are really going to increase with Avalok the Sage, since they're going to have more and more better drafts. Especially once you get up to like 7 and 8, I think this guy could really help you once you get up to the higher tiers of draft, just because he gives you a gold or silver unit, which is probably going to be a mage if you're on the higher drafts, because they're really good silvers. Then we got Isnt Grim Outlaw, of course. This guy's amazing. Like, Skeletal has some of the best draft cards, honestly, just for brute force and stuff. This guy, sure, you could use him to play a bronze or silver special card from your deck if you drafted a really good one that's just going to be amazing, but in mostly every case, I'd go with Create a Silver Elf. Because, I mean, even if you grab that, tutor that spell out, then you're not going to have that spell later. But with the Create a Silver Elf, you know what options you have. You have a mage in there. That's already amazing. You have Torval in there for a 16 power play. That's really good. And then you have a lock unit in there to lock anything that your opponent managed to draft that's really annoying you. Those are 3 really good options. Then of course you got like Melina, who steals a 5 power unit and whatnot, which shouldn't be too hard to pull off. He pretty much guarantees you value. Like, this guy is going to be one of the top drafts up, at least up there. He's in my top 5. Then we got, not Dijkstra, here we go. Caretaker. Resurrect a bronze or silver unit from your opponent's graveyard. This guy and the other one that I'm going to do next will definitely be the 2 best. It's situational on which one's better. Because, I mean, if your draft's not going the greatest, I'd go with Caretaker, just because as you get higher up, they're going to have better cards, of course, and you get to take their best unit that they drafted from silver or bronze and use it to your advantage. So, I mean, hey, even if you didn't get a mage, you're probably going to face somebody who got a mage, and you'll be able to res it and use it against them. He's just constant value. Like, they're going to draft at least one good bronze or silver unit, and hopefully you get to take it. So, I mean, I like Caretaker. I think he's top 2. Top 2 along with Shani. Shani for the same reason. Only difference... Why isn't my premium activating? Only difference is that Shani can resurrect from your graveyard, and it has to be non-cursed. It does give it 2 armor, which is sort of nice benefit, but the fact if you drafted some really good cards, then Shani's going to be better than Caretaker for you. Because if your draft's going really well, then you'll get to just double dip on whatever you drafted that is going to be really useful, like your mage or something. So I'd say Shani if your draft's going really well. Like if you had to choose between Shani and Caretaker, Shani if your draft's going really well, and then Caretaker if your draft's not going the greatest, but still alright. Then we got Igni, Geralt Igni. This guy always finds value. This one's a risky one. This is one of the ones where I was like, this one and another one. He can either be really good or just really bad. Because, I mean, you gotta think, in the earlier games, it's gonna be harder to pull off an Igni. Just because they're probably gonna have, like, 3 power bronzes and stuff that they were forced to draft. But later on, I'm thinking he's gonna be really good when you got more consistent drafts, and hopefully a row lines up to 25. I don't know how plausible that's going to be in arena mode with the way it's going to work, but I think he could be top tier. If things like in the later rounds you start seeing 25 power rows, then yeah, Igni's great because he blows away their highest unit +5. That's a great card. But then if the rows don't end up adding to 25, he's just like a 5 power and you're like, oh, I wish I drafted almost anything else besides combi. Then we got Keira Metz. Keira Metz is going to be really strong. She's a really good gold, definitely. You got that Elzur's Thunder in there to ping off anything that you really need to kill, like anybody who's being cheeky and trying to draft Ciri for some reason. One that returns to their hand. Yeah, Elzur's Thunder, there you go. Took care of that. Thunderbolt's still good if you need that armor for weather if you didn't actually get to clear it somehow. Then Arrakis Venom. With Arrakis Venom, she's an 18 power gold. That's pretty strong up there. And you have plenty of versatility in these choices for what you need at that moment to choose from. So Keira Metz is definitely going to be one of the ones I'm looking out for in draft. Next is Isnt Grim Tarna. God, that last name's hard. Play a bronze or silver ambush unit from your deck. If you drafted an ambush unit before this guy, this is the only condition you need to have that ambush unit, then this guy's amazing. With Adorable, he's a 21. That's almost as strong as a Ciri Nova, as long as you can line up 4 units, of course. With a Malena, that's 15 if you steal a 5 power, and then he's a 22. And even with Sapper, like Sapper, one of the worst ambush units you could draft, he's a guaranteed 18. Like, that's pretty high up there for gold. So, Isnt Grim definitely going to be one of the good ones, as long as you get an ambush unit be first. I mean, if you draft this guy and you don't see an ambush unit, you're going to be sad, but if there's some other bad choices, I draft the Isnt Grim just because, and hope for an ambush unit, because, I mean, 7 power can be better than some of these golds. Not many, but just a couple. Then we got, where is he? Shillard. Truce, draw a card from both decks, keep one and give the other to your opponent. This guy's gonna be so fun. Because I mean, in a competitive normal format where people are creating their own decks, then you got that situation usually where your choice is to either give them something from your deck that's all right, or take something from their deck that's not gonna help you much because it doesn't go with your deck's idea. Like you get a Dwarven Agitator or something that's totally useless. But in Arena, basically you draw the top 2 cards. I mean, draw the top card from both deck, and then pick the best one, because you're both drafting, so you're both going to have random cards in your deck, and maybe you can get lucky and take their mage or something. I don't see this guy being very bad in any situation, and 9 isn't too bad of tempo in draft mode, for sure. So I think he'll be definitely better in draft mode, because in normal mode, you got like normally 14, 15, 16 power plays happening every turn, and you play a 9 power just to take a card and hope that it's a good card, then that kind of sucks. But in draft mode, totally different situation. Then the last one, this was the other one that I was iffy about why I put them in, because this one in Igni, there you are, a Glace. Resurrect a bronze or silver special card from your opponent's graveyard, then banish it. There has to be special cards going on for this person to work, but a lot of the really good bronze drafts are special cards. Crow's Eye, Mock Mail, things like that that give you 12 power because 11 power is even good in a bronze draft. So I'm thinking there'll be things like that. And then you got things like Foul Ale. If your opponent plays a Foul Ale and you play her, that's a 24 power gold. You just won out with that. So I'm thinking people are going to be drafting specials just because they're some of the best choices you got in some situations. Maybe not the silver slot, but again, Foul Ale is one of the best silvers to draft, I think. And then the bronzes, you got like Thunderbolt Potion that they might have had to take, which even then, with the Thunderbolt Potions, he's 17. I'd take that. Or Lacerate, if they don't play around their own Lacerate. Like, I don't know. So she's iffy, along with Droll. It depends on what the game looks like. But the other ones I'm pretty certain about because they just add up to being great cards in any situation. A Glace and Igni depend on how draft mode go more than the other cards. So that's about it for this one, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, have a good one.